are in Gifu, a small town in central Japan. A woman in her 50s is clearing out fallen leaves from the street. She's dressed in a sort of uniform, her blonde hair tied back in a ponytail. On the surface, she looks like any other person with a regular job, working hard to make ends meet. They say every person has a story, and sometimes it is nothing like what you might expect. The saying could not be more true for Mako Nishimura. Beneath the simple look is a reformed organized crime gangster, a woman Yakuza, which in Japan's criminal syndicate history is a rare occurrence. Beneath her black arm coverings, the intricate tattoos tell a story of the underworld, but from a woman's perspective. Her missing fingertip is very telling of the occupational hazard as a gangster. This is the story of a Japanese woman that spiraled into the underworld, but decades later clawed her way out of it and has not looked back since. Nishimura's tryst with the world of crime begins as a teenager, after she ran away from home, rebelling against a strict family with high academic standards. By the time she's 20 years old, she joins a major Yakuza clan. From here on, she gets deeply embroiled in extortions and selling drugs. Mako Nishimura says that she was 22 when authorities officially recognized her as a Yakuza, after she was thrown in prison for possessing drugs. There's no official record to back her claim, but in her defense, such data on organized criminals is not segregated by gender. For a young Japanese girl back then, the real world had one thing in common with the underworld: an age-old system of patriarchy which she wanted to defy against. Nishimura says rival gangsters looked down upon her for being a woman, and she hated that feeling.
I learned to speak, look, and fight like a man, trying to be as Yakuza-like and manly as my boss at the time.
A few years into the life of organized crime, Mako Nishimura wanted out. She wanted to get married and raise her child. The clan that she was part of excommunicated her after she absconded. But an above-board life was harder than she thought. She studied to get work in the care and medical sector, but her tattoo sleeves, complete with dragons, got her fired from several jobs. Eventually, she ran out of options and fell back into her old life of crime. She started selling drug stimulants to raise her son. By the time Nishimura reached the 40s, she rejoined her old Yakuza clan. But after all these years outside of it, she found that the nexus had no dignity left. As odd and contradictory as it sounds, even syndicates have and live by a code. But she found that missing on her return. Finally, 5 years ago in 2020, Nishimura quit the underworld for good. She's 55 now and happy in a reformed life. But it is not just her own life that she has transformed. Nishimura also helps other former gangsters reform their life and earned an honest-to-good living.
I've started thinking like a normal person. Before, I think I was a bit twisted or off. Compared with ordinary people, I was bad. But now I'm really on the straight and narrow, and the idea that I'm doing something good for other people gives me confidence. It brightens my days.
Organized crime that once thrived on the streets of Japan to bring order to chaos in a post-war world are decreasing with time. Japan's strict anti-mafia laws and crackdown over the years past have significantly weakened the organized crime nexus. For Mako Nishimura, who on and off spent close to 35 years in Underworld, the wish is to see these gangs, the Yakuza, become completely extinct in Japan. That's all we have for you on this episode of Prime Crime. We'll be back next week with more such stories and cases from around the world. Thanks for watching.